My name is Michael, or at least that's what I used to introduce myself as before everything became a hollow echo. I was a man of quiet routines, a creature of habit who found comfort in predictability. My life was a neat, carefully folded napkin, a decent job, a suburban house with a well-tended garden, and Clara. Clara was the center of it all, my wife, my anchor, the one person I believed saw me, truly saw me, and loved me completely. We built our perfect little dream brick by brick, shared every laugh, planned every future detail, from the color of the living room walls to the names of our hypothetical children. I believed in us. I believed in forever. Forever ended on a Tuesday. It wasn't a dramatic confrontation, no shouting, no slammed doors. It was quieter than that, insidious, like a virus seeping into your bloodstream. Clara had left her phone on the kitchen counter, an oversight so uncharacteristic of her meticulous nature that it should have been a warning in itself. My hand reached for it, not out of suspicion, but habit. I was going to put it on the charger for her. And then I saw it. One notification, bold and unforgiving. An unsent text message, a draft, open on the screen. It wasn't to me. The words were intimate, disgustingly so, detailing a recent encounter. My breath hitched. The world tilted on its axis, and then it simply shattered. The woman I adored, the woman I had built my entire existence around, was a stranger. Her infidelity wasn't just a betrayal, it was an obliteration. It wasn't a crack in the foundation, it was the entire house collapsing into dust. I felt nothing for a long moment, a pure, terrifying void. Then came the cold. Not anger, not rage, not tears. Just a profound, chilling emptiness that solidified into something sharper, harder. The world expected me to scream, to confront her, to break, but the hollow ache inside me birthed something else, something colder, more precise, something she wouldn't see coming. Clara, charming, impeccably organized, a professional success. She valued her control, her reputation, her carefully curated life above all else. Her image was everything. My revenge wouldn't be a shout, a public spectacle. It would be a whisper, a phantom limb in her digital existence, a ghost in her machine. I watched her that night, watched her move through our home, oblivious, her laughter echoing like a cruel joke. I felt nothing but a detached, almost scientific curiosity. How could someone be so good at deception? How could I have been so blind? The planning began immediately. I became an observer, a shadow. I knew her passwords, of course. She'd given them to me years ago, tokens of trust that now felt like open invitations to a battlefield. I knew her habits. She lived by her digital calendar. Her emails were her lifeblood. Her smart home devices were her personal assistants. Her reliance on technology, once a point of mild annoyance for my more analog sensibilities, became her greatest vulnerability. I started small, insignificant, imperceptible, like a single grain of sand shifted on a vast beach. First, her calendar. An appointment subtly shifting by 15 minutes, just enough to make her rush, to feel slightly off-kilter, but not enough to cause suspicion. She'd blame traffic or her own forgetfulness. I watched her frown, muttering to herself, then shake it off. A tremor of satisfaction, cold and sharp, pierced through my chest. This was it. Then came the emails. I learned to intercept, to delay, to make them vanish from her inbox just as she was about to open them. Important drafts, saved with such care, would simply disappear. She'd spend hours searching, convinced she'd seen it, only to find nothing. I heard her on the phone, her voice edged with frustration. "But I swore I drafted that email. I can't find it anywhere." Am I losing my mind? A faint smile touched my lips. No, Clara, you're not losing your mind. You're losing control. The smart home devices were next, her fortress of convenience. I learned their rhythms, their vulnerabilities. The lights in the bedroom, set to a morning schedule, would flicker erratically in the dead of night, waking her from a deep sleep. Not enough to cause panic, just enough to disrupt, to plant a seed of unease. The thermostat would subtly shift, making the house feel inexplicably cold, then inexplicably warm, despite her careful adjustments. She'd complain about drafts, about the old house, about the utility company. Never about the possibility that something or someone was deliberately interfering. I watched her through the lens of her carefully constructed digital life. Her perfection began to fray. She started double-checking everything, her fingers hovering over her keyboard, her brow furrowed in perpetual worry. She'd call customer service for her internet, her smart devices, her email provider, convinced there was a glitch in the system. They found nothing. Of course they found nothing. I was meticulous, untraceable. I left no fingerprints, no digital breadcrumbs. The stakes escalated. A crucial meeting at her office. Clara prided herself on her punctuality. The night before, I adjusted the alarm on her smart speaker. Not off, just 5 minutes later. Enough to make her scramble, to arrive flustered, to start the day on the wrong foot. I watched her leave that morning, a frantic energy about her, and felt a strange mix of triumph and an unsettling hollowness. This wasn't fixing anything, I knew. It was simply inflicting. The phantom emails became more audacious. From her own account, I'd send a brief, nonsensical message to a colleague or forward an old, irrelevant chain. Nothing damaging on its own, but enough to make her receive confused replies, to make her question if she was multitasking poorly, if she was truly losing her touch. Her colleagues started to notice. "Clara, did you mean to send me this blank email?" She'd blush, apologize, blame a glitch. But the seed of doubt was planted, not just in her, but in those around her. Her professional reputation, the bedrock of her self-worth, was slowly, imperceptibly eroding. The smart home became a torment. The front door, usually so secure, would sometimes unlock itself for a brief second, then relock, sending an alert to her phone. She'd race home, heart pounding, only to find everything secure. The security cameras would sporadically malfunction, showing corrupted files or refusing to record crucial periods. She started sleeping with a light on, checking the locks multiple times a night. Her beautiful suburban home, her sanctuary, was becoming a source of quiet terror. Her carefully curated life was crumbling, not from an outside attack, but from within. She began to isolate herself, embarrassed by her memory lapses, her perceived incompetence. She'd cancel social plans, claiming exhaustion, but I knew it was more. She was afraid of making another mistake, of being judged. She was constantly tired, constantly on edge. The vibrant, self-assured woman I had once loved was being replaced by a gaunt, anxious shadow. Then came the climax, the final push. Clara had been working on a massive client pitch, weeks of preparation, late nights. Her career hinged on it. The day before the presentation, an email containing crucial data she had compiled and meticulously saved to her cloud drive, simply vanished. Not deleted, just gone, no trace. She tore the house apart, frantic, her face pale with panic. I watched her, hidden in plain sight, offering calm, empty words of comfort. She blamed herself, her failing memory, her inability to manage her digital life. She swore she had saved it, uploaded it. She knew she had. But it wasn't there. The presentation was a disaster. She faltered, unable to recall key figures, her confidence utterly shattered. The client walked. Her boss, previously so supportive, looked at her with pity and thinly veiled concern. That night, she sat on the couch, staring blankly at the wall, tears silently streaming down her face. She wasn't crying for the loss of the client or her job. She was crying because she finally believed it. She was losing her mind. She was breaking. They'll call it a breakdown, a result of stress, a digital overload. They'll offer her help, medication, therapy, but no one, not her friends, not her family, not even Clara herself, will ever know the truth. They'll never know it was me. I watch her now, a ghost in her empty halls, and the cold satisfaction I thought I craved is complicated. The house is quiet, too quiet. My life is still neat, the garden still tended, but the anchor is gone, and the ground beneath me feels strangely hollow. She suffered, she broke. Justice, I called it. But does it heal me? Does it bring back the man I was before the shattered screen, before the betrayal? The answer is a chilling, resounding no. I inflicted pain, precise and calculated, but it left me just as broken, just as empty. My revenge is complete, and I am utterly, terrifyingly alone.